How you doing? I'm Z Shep. This is the Be Artist, Be Athlete podcast, where we take a closer look at players, coaches, all personnel essential to the growth and success of the Art U athletics department. So join us as we take a closer look, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's start the show. All right, so welcome back again to the Be Artist, Be Athlete podcast. I am your host, Z Shep, and as you can see by the many accolades, we had to pull out things to put all the things. We have a very special guest today, and it is Shareez Hamm. That's it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So, man, decorated, very decorated. So you are track and field, hurdles and sprints alum.
That's correct.
9-time All-American with Art U. So 9 times.
Right.
You just didn't feel like stopping. You just felt like I'm gonna keep on going. Like,
Yeah.
why should I stop at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Just keep going, rack them up. 2024
NCAA Division II national champion in 400-meter hurdles. Right.
Yeah.
So you're a big deal, right? And you also grad school for photography.
Right.
Okay. All right. So wow. Where do I start? Well, what's your origin story as far as getting into track? Like, what made you choose running track, or when did you find out that you were really good at running?
Right. Well, I didn't find out I was really good at running until I was a little bit older, but I started running about the age of 9, doing rec track for the pups. We had a little rec team where I'm from. And so it started there, and then I did a little summer track, AAU. I was doing distance, started out doing 800, 3,200 miles, things like that. Then once I got into high school, 10th, 11th grade, that's when I got into the sprint side, the 400, hurdles, 200, like that. Yeah, it was really after my freshman year. I was running a mile, and they had combined the heats with the guys and the girls, and a girl ended up beating me in the mile. So I was like, wow. I'm done with distance. I got to find something else.
That was all it took. So you said where you're from, and this is back, I have Highland Community College is where you came from before you were at RU.
Right.
So where's that located? Let everybody know where that's.
So Highland, it's in Kansas, but I'm really originally from Georgia, Gray, Georgia. Yeah, so I went to Kansas 2017 after graduating high school in 2016. And I walked onto the football team, and I was on an athletic training scholarship. And then in the spring of 2018, I ended up getting cut from the football team. So I had to walk onto the track team at Highland. So I ended up walking onto the track team.
You walked on, or you ran onto it? No. But yeah, walk. I know what you're saying. So after joining Academy Art in 2019, it's you kind of epitomize being a team leader. Like, there's a hurdle, like you're always there, like in the huddle, right? So what's it like, and what's your value as far as like your team values when it comes to, the kind of team leader that you are?
Right. It's just about showing up, giving effort. Effort's free. So if you show up every day, wanting to get 1% better, not having that I got to be at practice, but that I get to be at practice mindset, then you'll be successful for sure.
That's how you get all of these accolades.
So I just, head down, work hard, and the hard work's going to show for itself.
You sound very humble. Like, like I get to be at practice.
Right.
Like legit, with all of these accolades, it would be easy to have an inflated head or an inflated ego. But you're saying, no, you still feel like you get to be at practice.
Right.
That's awesome. I feel like that's why, that's definitely you epitomize team and epitomize leadership for sure. So 400-meter national champion, what was your mindset? Like being a national champion, like from the blocks, from the first and last hurdle, like what was it like?
Yeah, so I knew that I had been telling myself that I'm a national champion. You know, this is me. It's meant for me. So I had already visualized all year. Had been visualizing all year, and me running that race, winning that race. Because you know, I came close many years. Uh, Previous years coming up short, fourth place. The year before, even the year before that, finished fourth. Then also, so just having that mindset of this is my race. I'm prepared, and just having that dog mentality.
So you were fourth the previous year,
Right, in previous 2 years.
and you went to first.
Right, yep, from fourth to gold.
So you just surpassed the other
Yeah.
you said, I'm not gonna take my time. I'm gonna go ahead and get right.
I need it.
Wow. So you said you visualized it. You said like I see myself being a national champion, and you're saying that the work is gonna speak for itself. So that's kind of like an example of that. So like, I know I'm putting in the work. Even the times you came in fourth, like, well, I know I'm putting in the work.
Right.
So it's like, your vision and the work caught up with the reality, would you say?
Right, yep.
And it's funny I say caught up because you're talking about running.
Right, yeah.
Like during the race, are you just thinking of running? Or are you thinking about what's to the left and to the right to you?
Right. So yeah, so I always I'm aware of like what's going on in the race. And from the start, I knew I had got out pretty well because I instantly broke the stagger to my outside, and going up, like I can tell if I'm in the lead because you can see who's going over the hurdle first and who's touching down. So through 3, I knew I was rolling, and so I just wanted to keep bringing that speed through hurdle 4, and I ended up hitting hurdle 4, and it kind of threw me off a little bit, but kept my rhythm going into 5, and that's when I started to float, so I can just build that energy bar back up. We talk about like a video game, you got to let your energy bar build back up because you just can't keep pressing. Yeah, that happened my first year. Ended up pressing too much, got caught not making finals, missed finals. So just learning throughout the years, different races of what works and what doesn't work. But I got through 5. I knew I was in a good position. Didn't really see anybody on my outside. And once I got through 6 and 7, I could start to feel the competition on the inside. I knew they were pressing because they had to respond to me because I had got out. And once I got over 8, I just knew it was empty the tank. It's the last 100 meters of my collegiate career. So I just had to leave it all on the track. And I knew if it came down to the last 2 hurdles that, I wanted it more because, I came up short all those other years. And, once I crossed the finish line, I just had to give God his glory because even when I wasn't winning, I was coming in 4th or 7th or 2nd, I would still give God his glory because, without him, none of this is possible. And he gave me a second chance at life and to run track because when I was at Highland, I was end up in the hospital for like a week. Airway was closing, and he just brought me out of that situation. And it's crazy because at Highland, Emporia was the first track meet that I opened up at for the hurdles, and to just end my career there at that same track with the national title just shows you God is the Alpha and the Omega. He just, he starts something, he finishes it. And then that was what the prayer was all about, just thanking God, for this journey, because, it's all about the journey and the people that we meet along the way. And, just celebrated with my teammates after. And it was surreal.
Yeah, so it sounds like it was a emotional moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just for you, but obviously like watching it and seeing it. And then knowing the backstory, like you said, what you just kind of grazed over it, like, oh, my lungs was closing, I was dying. So like what?
Yeah, so no, I had an abscess on my neck, and it burst and got into my bloodstream, and so my airway was closing. Like my white blood cells was off, like blood pressure was up, like stroke level and things like that. And so my mom flew out to Highland from Georgia and to stay. with me for that week, and it was just a bunch of blood tests and things. And so Highlands, it's a small town, and so like 3 days into the hospital stay, the doctor came in and told my mom, like, we done everything we can for him. We got to transport him. So I ended up getting transported to Topeka, Kansas, and from there, it started getting a little better. They let me walk laps and things like that. Started out walking with a nurse, and now I'm competitive, so I started walking a little faster, and then the nurse got tired. She's like, all right, you can just walk by yourself now. You walking a little too much. So, yeah, so I've always had that competitive nature in everything that I've done. And, Highland was the start of the track and field journey for me.
Wow. Talk about poetic.
Yeah.
So you had an abscess and then lungs. So breathing is very important in running.
Right.
And then you're talking about having to like pretty much start walking again and doing laps.
Yep.
To then be an All-American for running laps.
Yep.
I mean, like, when does the movie come out? like for real, that's like, yeah, that's an amazing story. And you're so humble that you would just like graze on over. Like, yeah, God is good because I almost died. I almost couldn't run. Like it kind of brings it home because for you, it's like it's a blessing that I'm able to walk,
Right.
let alone run, let alone be able to win All-American.
Right. Yeah. That's why I say
when you get to the Olympics.
Right. Yeah. That's why I say, you get to do it. You don't got to do it. You get to do it because it's a blessing to wake up and opportunity. Because a lot of people think their alarm wakes them up in the morning, and it's the grace of God that wakes us up.
Amen. And was it like, were you like, this is it? Like I've arrived, or was it like, okay, so now there's another goal. There's a next goal that's in front of me.
Right. Yeah. So it was on to the next goal. So we just check them off the list. But the next goal was Olympic trials to get a qualifier so I can get a chance to compete there, and just take advantage of the opportunity. And once I broke that 50 barrier mark, and I was like, yeah, like I can compete and I have a chance to do something special at this level.
So Olympic trials. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So is that like still your goal? Like you want to get to the Olympics?
Definitely. I definitely see myself there, LA 28. But right now, the main goal, making Team USA for Worlds this year. Try to get on that team to go to Tokyo.
Man, so that's good. So right now, currently, you're obviously passionate about running. But here at RU, your major is photography.
Right.
And speaking of accolades, like your work for photography has been in like multiple of the spring shows here.
Yeah, that's correct.
So is it like the same mentality? Like it's hard work? Because obviously you're passionate and you must have an eye for photography, but is it the same thing? Like I'm still going to put in the work because this is what I want to do. So I want to be like the best in all facets, or like what's your mindset when it comes to your photography work?
Right. Yeah. So Inky Johnson, he's a motivational speaker. I'm not sure if you heard of him.
I've heard of Inky.
Yeah, he said it. It's not this two different mindsets. It's the same mindset. So who you are on the field or the court, that's who you are in life. So if you attack practice every day, show up, that's how you're gonna do the same thing with life or in the classroom, or even when adversity, comes your way, you'll be able to attack adversity and strive and get through it.
So what makes like a good photograph? Like for me, like I'm not a major for photography, but I imagine that even outside of the hard work, or do you feel like it's just like I see what needs to be done and I do it? So if I see like whoever is the highest rated as far as photography goes, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reach that standard. I'm gonna chase that, if you will.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about, you find your inspiration or people that you want to model your work after, and then you add your own, your own style, and just having an eye for the detail, just seeing, oh, let me crop this like this instead of that. That can make or break a picture, just small things like that.
Mm-hmm. And is that something that kind of like tracked? So you were running since you were 9. Like, when did you figure out that like photography was like what you wanted to do? And then what you think you have a future as far as pursuing your photography as well?
Right. So I didn't figure out that I had a passion for photography until I was at Highland. I had a roommate. He had a few cameras, and we wanted to do YouTube, but he had a long lens camera, so a 75 to 300 lens, so we couldn't really like shoot how we wanted. So I just used it, started taking pictures of everybody on campus, and it just went from there. And,
Oh, so you kind of like stumbled onto it.
right. Yeah.
Oh man, wow. Do you see the pictures of you and be all like, oh, why they who took this picture?
Yeah, for sure. Especially the ones my mom posts on Facebook. Yeah.
Y'all like, oh my gosh, roll of thirds, guys. Roll of thirds.
Yeah.
So right now you're a volunteer coach here with ArtU. What's that like for you being, a coach? So you're like a coach, you're still running, and you're still here. Like what is that like?
Right. It's cool because the environment of the team is still there. Everybody bonds with one another, and just they seen that the leadership and the hard work that I put in last year and the results that I got out of it just shows that your hard work pays off, and to just continue to be there and lead, especially for like the incoming people to just adapt to the culture and environment of the team, just being there helping them and just taking it one day at a time.
So people back at home, I assume, are like pretty proud of you.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So with all of these awards and all these accolades, like, is that pretty much what you tell, the people that you're coaching? Like, listen, like, it's not necessary. Like, even I would be the same, like, even if I didn't have all of these tangibles.
Right.
Because it's not necessarily about what you see tangibly and what you can hold tangibly, but what you have like inside, like you mentioned Inky. And I know his story because I follow him. And the consistency is the most thing. What does he say? He says sweat equity.
Right. Yep. Sweat equity.
So is that like kind of like what you teach your athletes, like sweat equity?
Yeah, just also how you mentioned to empty the bucket. Just some days gonna be better than others. You might only have 50% one day, 100% the next, 75%. But just make sure that you give 100% of that 75 each day, or 100% of whatever you have that day, and that's how you get 1% better.
Nice. So, Olympics, 2028.
2028.
That's what's on the horizon.
Yes, sir.
That's what's on the future. And then so before that, with the coaching and with the Olympics, as far as your photography goes, like, would you want to be like, I don't know, like taking track and field pictures, or be hired for a sports magazine? Like, talking about, would it be like what sports, or would it just be like photography period?
Right. I like doing portraits and going to trials. They had this media team set up for the athletes where you can get your portrait taken, and I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so somewhere down that road, portraits and sports. I like doing. I would take pictures for the basketball team, volleyball team during the fall. No, I like doing sports and portraits. So somewhere in that down that road.
I mean, it's probably pretty important because you're not always going to be able to be so athletic and always be able. So to be able to have it like culminated and to be able to like capture a moment, it's like
right.
It's immortalized, forever. Not just in somebody's mind, but it's all like, yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Now look at the face. I know I look different now, but look, that's me. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you in the Olympics. Yeah. Or I mean, I don't know. I might miss it because you're gonna be running fast. So I'm be like, but yeah, it was great talking to you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing, all these accolades. I mean, this is great. Like for the school, they just because it shows the possibilities of being an athlete and being an artist as well. You know what I mean? So it's like your artistry is there, your athleticism is there, and you're able to grind in every facet. It's all like, yo, it's a grind. Period. Point blank.
Right.
Like rather you're running, rather you're taking photography, rather you're doing a podcast, rather you're taking a test. It's like it's just it's a grind. So
you got to put in the work.
Yeah, man, that's a good mindset to have. That's a good mindset to have. So I know I'm gonna see big things from you, in the future.
Yes, sir.
All right, so thanks for joining us, Shareez.
Yeah, appreciate
And that's it for our episode today. Hey, we want to take a quick time out. We want to take a moment to thank one of our amazing sponsors, Relation Insurance Services. Relation is your go-to partner for all things insurance. Whether you're looking for personal coverage, business solutions, or specialized insurance needs, Relations has got you covered. They offer a wide range of services, including workers' compensation, general liability, property insurance, loss control and claims, and employee benefits. With Relation, you can expect an elevated client service experience and expert advice for a team of dedicated professionals who work tirelessly to ensure you have coverage that fits your unique needs. So if you're in the market for insurance, look no further than Relation. Visit their website at relationinsurance.com or give them a call at 800-404-4969 to learn more about how they can help protect what matters most to you. Thank you, Relation, for your support, and thank you, fans, for watching. And that's going to do it for our show today. Again, I am your host, Z Shep. This is the Be Artist, Be Athlete podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to our sponsors. Listen, don't forget, hit the Art U Athletics team store. It is now open. What are you waiting for? www.artuathletics.com/team store.